When a much-loved celebrity passes away, the impact often reaches far beyond the initial headlines. What happens when someone very close finally chooses to speak after months of complete silence? The world was caught off guard when Jennifer Aniston, usually so private, decided to open up publicly about Matthew Perry following his tragic death. Could her words shift how fans view their long friendship and the personal battles both actors faced? There's far more beneath the surface than most people realize, and today we're going to uncover the real story behind her emotional, long-awaited break of silence that left millions stunned, the sudden loss and the months of silence. Matthew Perry's unexpected death in late 2023 sent shockwaves across Hollywood and around the globe. Best known for playing Chandler Bing on one of the most iconic sitcoms of all time, Friends, Perry had openly battled many personal demons, yet he remained deeply admired for his humor and strength. When the news of his passing broke, fans and fellow celebrities alike struggled to come to terms with losing someone who had brought so much joy to so many people. In the midst of the outpouring of tributes and memories, one noticeable absence stood out: Jennifer Aniston, Perry's longtime co-star and close friend, stayed completely silent in public. That gap in her response sparked widespread curiosity and speculation. For months after Perry's death, Aniston released no statements, gave no interviews, and made no public comments about the tragedy. This was especially striking because many of their former friends' castmates had spoken openly, leading people to wonder why she chose to remain quiet. Was her silence a deliberate way to guard her privacy during an overwhelming time? Or was it a shield protecting her from the unbearable emotional weight she was carrying? The lack of any explanation only deepened the mystery and built anticipation for what she might eventually say. Friends fans had long known that Jennifer Aniston and Matthew Perry shared a special connection that went far beyond their on-screen roles. Their chemistry and real-life friendship had been visible in interviews, cast reunions, and public appearances over the years, making her prolonged silence even more puzzling. The world wasn't just waiting for closure about Perry's death, people were also hoping for any glimpse into what Aniston might reveal about their relationship, something she had rarely discussed in detail publicly before. Her quietness set the stage for a moment that would eventually capture global attention. That silence became a powerful symbol of private grief rarely seen in the celebrity world. It suggested there was a much deeper story waiting to be told, one that would challenge assumptions about what celebrity friendships really look like behind closed doors. Aniston's eventual decision to speak was eagerly anticipated as a potential key to understanding not only the loss itself, but also the hidden struggles and unbreakable bond they shared. The mystery surrounding her silence became a poignant reminder of the personal toll fame can take. It showed that even in the public eye, some pain is too raw to rush. Despite the absence of any public words from her, the media and fans largely respected her space, recognizing how difficult it is to grieve someone so publicly adored while carrying such private sorrow. It was obvious that when Aniston finally chose to speak, her words would carry enormous weight. Her silence also highlighted that friendships among stars aren't always neatly packaged for public consumption. The world waited, emotionally charged, for what she might say about the man behind the beloved character and the friendship that had meant so much to both of them. In a world often filled with instant reactions and social media noise, Aniston's restraint stood out as deliberate and deeply felt. It was a quiet acknowledgement that some grief simply cannot be hurried or performed. This moment of stillness created an atmosphere thick with emotion and expectation. As weeks turned into months without a single word, the silence itself became a statement, a powerful pause that said more than words ever could about privacy, loyalty, and love. It reminded everyone that celebrities, too, wrestle with heartbreak away from cameras and headlines. When Aniston finally broke that long silence, it wasn't simply a comment about Perry, it was a reflection of the intimate, complicated struggles that often hide behind fame. Her carefully chosen, deeply felt words would soon reshape how the public understood their story. that profound silence left an indelible mark on how people saw their friendship, fueling rumors but also generating widespread empathy. Many began to wonder what layers of connection, hardship, and loyalty had truly defined their relationship. The questions surrounding what Aniston might eventually share added emotional urgency to an already heartbreaking narrative. It became clear that when she finally spoke, she would reveal something raw, honest, and necessary, not just about loss, but about memory, hope, and enduring love. Even as we reflect on the weight of that silence, it's impossible to fully understand the story without going back to the roots of their extraordinary friendship. The history of Jennifer and Matthew's friendship. Jennifer Aniston and Matthew Perry's shared history dates back to the mid-1990s when Friends first began filming. Cast as Rachel Green and Chandler Bing, their on-screen chemistry became one of the defining elements of a show that turned into a global cultural phenomenon. Beyond being co-stars, they developed a genuine, lasting friendship that spanned decades, often described by insiders as sibling-like. Their bond was forged during long hours on set and while navigating the overwhelming pressures of sudden, massive stardom together. Throughout the 10 seasons of Friends, Aniston and Perry supported each other both on camera and off. They were known for their playful teasing, deep camaraderie, and unwavering loyalty, a friendship that fans could see in award show appearances, interviews, and cast reunions. Beyond the laughter, they shared private moments of real care and understanding, especially important in the chaotic, high-pressure environment of a hit television series. This strong foundation set the stage for a meaningful relationship that continued long after the show wrapped in 2004. Even after Friends ended, Aniston and Perry kept their connection alive through occasional public appearances and warm comments about each other's work. They celebrated one another's personal and professional milestones while offering quiet support during difficult times. What made their friendship stand out from so many Hollywood relationships was how it endured even after the show that brought them together was over. Their deep affection, built over years of shared experiences, kept them close through life's changes, though their joint public appearances became less frequent over time. The rare moments they did share showed a loyal, trusting friendship rooted in mutual respect. They often reflected on how Friends had transformed their lives, and they continued to treasure the special bond they had formed. Their long-lasting connection created emotional ties so strong that Perry's death felt devastating not only to fans but especially to those who knew him best. Their friendship remains a rare example of stability and genuine care in an industry where relationships often fade once the cameras stop rolling. In her friendship with Matthew Perry, Jennifer Aniston served as more than just a co-star. She was someone who truly understood his personal battles. Aniston played a supportive role in their relationship, preferring to keep things private while offering real, heartfelt care. Their friendship existed in a different space from most celebrity connections, built on deep affection developed through years of working side by side. Their public appearances may have been rare, but their private support remained constant. They often spoke about how the show had changed their lives, and they maintained a unique bond both cherished deeply. The strength of their friendship became painfully clear when news of Perry's death spread, making Aniston's eventual public words carry even more emotional weight. Their connection had become part of their shared legacy. The public challenges Matthew Perry faced, especially his well-known battle with addiction, formed the backdrop against which this friendship unfolded. Perry's public battle with addiction. Matthew Perry was remarkably open about his long struggle with addiction throughout much of his career, giving fans an honest window into the challenges hidden behind his famous smile. His willingness to speak candidly helped reduce the stigma around recovery and showed courage in confronting difficult topics in the public eye. Perry first entered rehab in the late 1990s, and over the years he experienced several relapses and treatment periods. His transparency earned him widespread respect as someone who kept fighting for change instead of hiding his past. Despite the turmoil, Perry stayed grounded and continued working, often using humor to cope with tough conversations that he spoke honestly about how addiction affected his physical health, mental well-being, and personal relationships. His openness helped create space for important discussions about mental health and substance use, especially in the high-pressure world of entertainment. Fans admired his resilience and his repeated efforts to seek help. At times the severity of his addiction impacted his career, leading to public incidents and serious health scares. His colleagues noticed how his performance and overall health were affected at different points, but they also recognized his determination to recover and keep working. The Friends cast provided support during his hardest moments, understanding the complicated nature of addiction. Perry's journey became a reminder that even behind public success, people face very human vulnerabilities. Later in life, Matthew Perry turned his experiences into advocacy work. He partnered with organizations focused on addiction recovery and mental health awareness, using his platform to promote hope and resources for others facing similar battles. His advocacy showed his commitment to turning personal pain into something that could help other people. He wanted his suffering to become a source of strength for others. Addiction still maintained a powerful grip on him at times, yet it became clear to his friends that his health and relationship struggles had reached critical points. He fought his battles while the media watched closely, which added even more pressure during his recovery. The public witnessed some of his most vulnerable moments, but his closest friends understood the deeper emotional toll of his ongoing fight. Aniston supported Perry through their friendship because she saw his struggles up close and personally. Through their shared history, she gained insight into both his emotional and physical challenges. Her final public words about his life and death carried deep emotional authenticity because of that closeness. Perry's story helped fuel larger conversations about addiction, shining a light on Hollywood's realities and highlighting the need for empathy and comprehensive treatment. His experience served as both a cautionary tale and a source of inspiration for many. His path showed that recovery is unpredictable, filled with setbacks. Yet inner strength helps people keep facing those obstacles. His legacy includes a powerful call for kindness, honesty, and better understanding around these issues. The public battle Matthew Perry fought against addiction throughout his life provides the emotional context for the grief felt by those closest to him. It took tremendous courage for Jennifer Aniston to finally speak publicly about their shared past after staying silent for so long. Their intertwined history, marked by both joy and pain, healing and hardship, set the stage for the moment she found the strength to break her silence. Aniston's past support and private moments. Jennifer Aniston's support for Matthew Perry was mostly quiet and deeply private, perfectly in line with her usual preference for keeping personal matters out of the public eye. Though she rarely discussed it in interviews, people close to both actors have revealed that Aniston consistently offered encouragement during some of Perry's darkest periods. Her empathy came from truly understanding what he was going through, and she often reached out through private calls or low-key meetings rather than public gestures. This behind-the-scenes support strengthened their friendship in ways most of the public never saw. Unlike the media-driven cycles that often surround celebrity struggles, Aniston chose discretion as a way to protect Perry's dignity and give him space to heal. Friends of the pair noted that she deliberately avoided speaking about his challenges in public, believing some battles are best handled away from cameras and headlines. This approach often meant her involvement went unnoticed by fans, but it was deeply meaningful to Perry himself. It was a powerful testament to her loyalty, prioritizing his well-being over any public recognition. The support Aniston gave in private went far beyond words. She showed up for him through actions, attending important moments in his life and offering steady, unwavering support during his most difficult times. Their friendship was built on small, meaningful gestures rather than grand public declarations. Perry trusted her completely during his hardest moments, making her one of the most important people in his life. Their Hollywood friendship stood apart because it was rooted in real emotional honesty, something rare in an industry often driven by competition and appearances. Their communication, mostly shielded from cameras, included quiet moments that revealed Aniston's nurturing side, a contrast to her usual confident, charismatic public image. What Perry needed most was exactly what Aniston gave him: emotional safety, someone he could rely on without fear of judgment or exposure. She demonstrated her care through gentle, thoughtful actions, always protecting his privacy while showing she truly understood his mental and emotional struggles. Their friendship thrived on trust and discretion. Many fans remained unaware of Aniston's behind-the-scenes role in supporting Perry, until that hidden support became evident after his death. Those who knew them best praised her for standing by him through everything without ever seeking attention for it, though her presence meant so much. Her eventual decision to speak publicly shows how deeply committed she remained to him, even in silence. Throughout their entire relationship, the weight of these shared experiences was often made heavier by the constant glare of fame, a relentless pressure that shaped both their lives in deeply personal ways. The weight of fame and personal struggles. Fame is often portrayed as glamorous, but for Jennifer Aniston and Matthew Perry, it came with heavy emotional burdens that deeply influenced their friendship. Both actors skyrocketed to global fame in their 20s, learning to navigate the intense scrutiny that comes with instant celebrity. The pressure to maintain perfect public images while protecting any shred of personal privacy created a constant tension, one they faced together, even if they rarely spoke about it openly. This shared challenge formed an invisible but incredibly strong bond between them. Early in their careers, the spotlight didn't just highlight their success, it also exposed moments of vulnerability. For Perry, his struggles frequently became public through media coverage, creating an incredibly difficult environment in which to heal. Aniston, meanwhile, dealt with relentless attention focused on her personal life, from relationships to appearance, often leaving little room for privacy. Both experienced the unsettling feeling of having private matters dissected in public, something very few people outside their world can truly understand. Their friendship became a safe refuge, a place where they could vent frustrations, share fears, and be honest without fear of judgment or betrayal. Hollywood's constant demands and fast pace added yet another layer of stress. The pressure to stay relevant, successful, and on at all times weighed heavily on both of them. Aniston has spoken in interviews about how exhausting constant work can be, and how hard it is to balance career demands with personal happiness and peace. For Perry, the added burden of maintaining a public persona while fighting ongoing recovery was especially overwhelming. This shared experience of isolation, so common among people in entertainment, became even more intense because of how close they were. Beyond the public challenges, both carried the private toll of long-term health struggles. Perry's addiction and the emotional exhaustion of constantly projecting strength and positivity. The physical and mental demands of fame often clashed with their real, private realities. For Aniston, watching Perry go through these battles up close deepened her compassion and strengthened her loyalty as a friend. Their ability to be vulnerable with each other privately stood in stark contrast to the polished images they presented to the world. The emotional complexity of fame also affected their wider social circles and support systems. Both actors understood how difficult it can be to trust people when fame blurs motives and intentions. Against this backdrop, their friendship offered something rare, a constant, reliable source of understanding. They found comfort in knowing someone else truly understood the paradox of being publicly adored while feeling personally vulnerable. Their shared journey through this often lonely landscape made their connection even stronger. Media intrusion and public speculation intensified during difficult moments, adding extra stress when both desperately needed peace or space to heal. Aniston's choice to stay silent for so long after Perry's death can be understood through this lens, a protective instinct against further exposure and intrusion. The experience of living so publicly shaped how she chose to express her grief, opting for careful, measured words rather than immediate, emotional exposure. This restraint reflects the complicated balance between celebrity life and personal well-being. Despite all these pressures, both continued to pursue their passions, acting, advocacy, and using their platforms thoughtfully. Perry's later advocacy work and Aniston's philanthropic efforts showed their determination to create meaning beyond the challenges fame imposed. Their friendship supported those efforts, offering grounding, encouragement, and mutual understanding. Together they navigated not just the highs of fame, but also its deepest shadows. This context helps explain the immense importance and careful timing of the moment when Jennifer Aniston finally found the words to honor Matthew Perry publicly, breaking the silence that held so much weight. The moment Jennifer spoke after months of complete public silence following Matthew Perry's tragic death, Jennifer Aniston finally found the strength to speak, giving the world a rare, heartfelt glimpse into her grief and the depth of their friendship. Her statement was short, but incredibly powerful, filled with sorrow, respect, and deep admiration for Perry's courage and the joy he brought to everyone around him. This rare moment of openness from someone so famously private moved millions, revealing the true depth of their bond in a way no previous public comment ever had. The timing of her words, arriving after many had already begun to accept her silence, reignited global attention and emotion around his passing. Aniston's message didn't shy away from the difficult parts of Perry's life. She acknowledged his struggles with genuine compassion and zero judgment, focusing instead on his bravery and the light he brought to the world. The tone was intimate and deeply personal, a tribute from someone who had seen not only Perry's public successes, but also his private battles. This vulnerability touched people everywhere, standing in contrast to the often polished, carefully scripted tributes common in celebrity culture. It reminded fans that behind every public figure is a real person, with real pain, real courage, and real humanity. Her decision to speak felt like an act of healing, both for herself and for everyone grieving Perry. She expressed gratitude for their friendship and for the lessons he taught her, asking people to remember him with honesty and kindness. Her words gave many the sense of long-awaited closure, while still leaving room for continued reflection and remembrance. The moment connected private pain with public mourning, allowing people to grieve together while celebrating Perry's life. Media outlets around the world covered Aniston's statement, creating a wave of stories that revisited Perry's career while highlighting the urgent need for empathy toward people struggling with mental health and addiction. Her tribute became a deeply personal act of friendship, honoring both the painful and beautiful parts of their connection. In the days that followed, many celebrities and friends castmates echoed her sentiments, reinforcing the supportive atmosphere her words created. Their collective voices helped turn individual grief into shared healing, uniting people around Perry's memory. Aniston's voice, once so quiet in public, became a central part of the healing conversation. A powerful testament to what can happen when silence finally gives way to honesty and heart. The profound impact of her message stirred a wide range of emotions among fans and observers, highlighting the complex role celebrity friendships play in public life. Public and fan reactions to her comments. Jennifer Aniston's decision to finally speak about Matthew Perry's death sparked an enormous wave of reaction across social media, news outlets, and fan communities worldwide. For many, hearing from someone so close to Perry provided a powerful emotional anchor, a moment to collectively grieve and reflect on his life beyond the headlines. Her words were shared tens of thousands of times, often accompanied by personal memories, stories, and renewed appreciation for both actors. The Friends cast and other celebrities responded warmly, emphasizing the supportive atmosphere her statement created. Messages of love, solidarity, and shared grief poured in, celebrating not only Perry's incredible career, but also the deep, enduring bonds the Friends cast maintained long after the show ended. Some co-stars echoed Aniston's feelings about loyalty, understanding, and compassion, reminding everyone how rare and precious such friendships are in Hollywood. Their unified voices helped lift the conversation beyond individual loss, turning it into a moment of collective healing. The response also included heartfelt discussions about addiction, mental health, and the hidden struggles of fame, themes Aniston touched on gently in her words. Her message helped reduce stigma around these issues, encouraging fans to approach Perry's story with kindness and empathy instead of judgment. Online forums, comment sections, and social media became spaces where people shared their own struggles and offered support, showing how celebrity stories often connect deeply with real human experiences. This created a hopeful takeaway from the tragedy, turning grief into greater understanding and compassion. Of course, not every reaction was purely positive. A small number of voices questioned the timing or tone of public statements, reflecting ongoing debates about how grief should be expressed in the media age, yet these criticisms were greatly outnumbered by genuine outpourings of love, respect, and gratitude. The overall mood was one of warmth and unity, showing how public mourning can bring people together rather than divide them. The response also reminded fans why the friendship between Perry and Aniston had always felt so special. Many shared favorite friends moments or rare behind-the-scenes stories, deepening the collective memory of their bond. Aniston's rare public insight gave fans a feeling of closeness to a story they had loved for decades, even if they had never fully understood its private depths. For millions, this became a healing moment, born from connection, nostalgia, and truth. Aniston's honest tribute encouraged other public figures and everyday people to speak more openly about grief, mental health, and addiction. The ripple effect included renewed calls for better support systems in Hollywood and beyond. Celebrities began sharing their own experiences more candidly, inspired by Aniston's example of measured, heartfelt honesty. Her words became a catalyst for broader conversations about wellness, empathy, and kindness in a high-pressure industry. The courage it took for Jennifer to speak will continue to resonate, reminding us all of the power of honesty, loyalty, and love, even long after the headlines fade. Legacy and lessons from their relationship. The friendship between Jennifer Aniston and Matthew Perry goes far beyond their unforgettable roles on Friends. It leaves behind a legacy of loyalty, compassion, and the quiet strength it takes to maintain real human connection in the middle of overwhelming fame. Their bond challenges the shallow, often cynical view of celebrity relationships, reminding us that behind every public image is a private world filled with joy, pain, loyalty, and love. Despite Perry's very public struggles with addiction, personal setbacks, and relentless media scrutiny, their friendship remained constant and supportive. Aniston's private support and Perry's openness about his challenges show a rare balance of vulnerability, trust, and discretion. Their connection demonstrates how empathy, mutual respect, and respect for boundaries can create a friendship strong enough to withstand almost anything, especially during the hardest times. Aniston's long silence followed by her carefully chosen words highlights the importance of protecting personal space while grieving, and approaching loss with deep compassion. Their friendship also shows the unique understanding that comes from shared experiences of Hollywood fame, giving them a safe space built on mutual vulnerability and trust. Their story has helped spark more open conversations about mental health, addiction, and the importance of empathy, challenging stigma and offering hope to people facing similar battles. Jennifer Aniston's heartfelt tribute to Matthew Perry reminds us that behind every friendship, no matter how famous, lies real strength, real pain, and real love. Their journey teaches powerful lessons about resilience in the face of hardship, the healing power of compassion, and the courage it takes to stay loyal even when life becomes unbearably difficult. If you found this story as touching and powerful as we did, please like this video and subscribe for more heartfelt explorations of the real stories behind the headlines. What do you think about Jennifer Aniston's words and the legacy of her friendship with Matthew Perry? Share your thoughts in the comments below. We'd love to hear from you. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and click the next video on your screen. You're going to love it. Smiling face with smiling eyes.